She froze when the crowd gasped in shock. The room fell silent, except for the faint scrape of knees on polished marble. "Crawl, Gloria! Crawl! Or no surgery!" Derek's cold voice echoed behind her. Black American Gloria's heart shattered. Her son, her own flesh, forcing her to crawl down the aisle on her hands and knees. Humiliated, broken, for all to see. "Please, Derek, you're killing me," she whispered, tears blurring her vision. But he only smiled, proud and ruthless, hiding a shame he could never admit aloud. As she crawled, whispers turned to gasps. Someone knew her story, the sacrifices, the battles she'd fought. And that's where her story truly began. Before we dive deeper, please, if you're listening to this right now, I want to prove my stepmom wrong. She said I can't even reach 1,000 subscribers. Help me show her that stories like this matter. Subscribe to Jossy's Folklore, and let's keep breathing life into tales that refuse to die. Now, let's continue. All right, here we go. The full first section, cinematic and emotionally charged, keeping it gripping and raw. Derek's wedding hall gleamed with polished marble floors and crystal chandeliers. The air was thick with expensive perfume and the hum of whispered congratulations. Everyone's eyes were on the bride and groom, except one pair, shadowed with pain and fear. Gloria sat quietly in a cramped storage room behind the scenes, her hands trembling in her lap. Her once bright eyes were dulled by the weight of what was to come. The cheap, ill-fitting dress they had forced her to wear felt like a cruel joke. She swallowed hard, thinking about the years she'd battled addiction, the nights she'd spent working double shifts, all for Derek's future. But now, her son, Derek, the successful tech consultant, the man she had sacrificed everything for, was demanding a price she could barely imagine paying. "Mom, if you don't do this, the surgery doesn't happen," Derek had said coldly the night before. Gloria's heart sank. The doctor said her heart condition was worsening. Without surgery, she wouldn't last the year. And Derek, the only person who could help, was making her crawl down the aisle at his wedding, humiliating her in front of his friends, his new bride, everyone. When the time came, the room hushed. Gloria was let out, knees scraping against the marble floor, tears streaming down her face. Murmurs swelled into shocked gasps. Some guests recognized her. Others stared in disbelief. "Gloria, is that really you?" one voice whispered. She wanted to disappear, but she couldn't stop. Her pride was crushed under the weight of Derek's demands, but survival pushed her forward. Inside, a storm brewed, but no one yet knew this was only the beginning. What would you do if this happened to you? Could you bear such shame for the sake of love? Have you ever trusted someone so deeply, only to feel betrayed? As Gloria crawled slowly down the aisle, the atmosphere shifted. Whispers grew louder, and eyes that once avoided her now fixed with a mix of shock and recognition. Among the crowd, an elderly woman stood up and called out, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "That's Gloria, the woman who raised Derek alone after his father left. She worked 3 jobs, put herself through hell so Derek could have a chance. This woman saved that boy's life more times than you know." The room fell silent again, but this time, the silence carried a weight of shame. Alyssa, Derek's bride, watched in horror. She had heard rumors about Derek's pride and bitterness, but witnessing this cruelty firsthand shattered whatever illusion she had left. With tears streaming down her face, she rose from her seat and knelt beside Gloria. "This stops now," Alyssa declared firmly, her voice echoing through the hall. "Derek, you will not disgrace your mother. Not today, not ever." Gasps rippled through the guests as Derek's face flushed with anger and disbelief. The wedding guests began murmuring, some whispering about Derek's true character for the first time. "Derek," Alyssa continued, standing tall, "I cannot marry a man who treats his own mother like this. I'm sorry, but the wedding is over." Derek's world unraveled in that moment. The crowd watched as Alyssa turned and walked away, dragging a stunned Derek behind her. Gloria collapsed, exhausted and overwhelmed. Medical staff rushed to her side, the chaos turning into urgent care. Cameras flashed, videos started recording. Within hours, the story would be everywhere. What would you do if you saw someone you love humiliated? Would you stand up, even if it meant breaking traditions? Have you ever felt powerless, only to find strength in the most unexpected way? Gloria was rushed to the hospital, weak but alive. The videos from a wedding went viral overnight, flooding social media with outrage and support. Derek's callousness was exposed, and his reputation crumbled. He lost his high-profile job, his apartment, and his place among friends and colleagues. Meanwhile, the public rallied around Gloria. A GoFundMe campaign quickly raised millions, enough not only for her heart surgery, but for a new life filled with dignity and hope. The surgery was a success. Slowly, Gloria recovered, her spirit stronger than ever. Determined to turn her pain into purpose, she founded a nonprofit dedicated to helping struggling single mothers, offering support, education, and a second chance. She became a beacon of resilience, her story inspiring millions across the country. Derek, meanwhile, was left to confront the ruins of his choices. In a humble letter, he apologized to Gloria, begging for forgiveness. Gloria read the letter, her heart softening but her pride intact. She accepted his apology, not as a door to reconciliation, but as a final chapter closed. A year later, Gloria stood before a packed auditorium at a women's empowerment conference. Her voice steady, eyes shining with quiet strength. She shared her journey, from sacrifice and shame to healing and triumph. Dignity, she said, is not given by others. It's claimed by the brave who refuse to let cruelty define them. Love yourself enough to stand tall, even when the world tries to make you crawl. And in that moment, Gloria's story became more than a viral sensation. It became a movement. If this story touched you, hit that subscribe button for more emotional tales from Jossy's Folklore. And even if it didn't, come on, subscribe anyway. We'll win you over next time. Drop a comment, like the video, and let's keep the stories alive. Thanks for watching.